In the vibrant city of London lived Mrs. Elizabeth Anderson, a woman in her late 50s. Life had not been easy on her, but she wore her scars like medals of honor. Years ago, she had been happily married to Richard Anderson, a wealthy entrepreneur who built a successful empire in real estate, logistics, and a chain of high-end supermarkets across the UK. He was respected, admired, and loved. But tragedy struck when Richard died suddenly from a heart attack, leaving Elizabeth and their 3 daughters behind. Many expected Elizabeth to crumble under the weight of grief and responsibility, but instead, she shocked everyone. With a fierce determination, she stepped into her husband's shoes and took charge of the empire. Through sleepless nights, countless board meetings, and tough decisions, she not only kept the businesses afloat, but doubled their profits. Elizabeth became known as the Iron Widow, a woman of elegance, strength, and resilience. She lived in a grand mansion in Kensington. Her name carried weight in both business and society. Yet, beneath the surface of her success, her true battle was raising her daughters, who had grown up surrounded by wealth and comfort, but carried very different mindsets. Sophia Anderson, 28 years old. Sophia, the eldest, was breathtakingly beautiful. With her tall frame, perfect smile, and a wardrobe filled with designer clothes, she was the kind of woman who could command attention in any room. But she leaned too much on her beauty and her mother's wealth. Parties, champagne brunches, expensive vacations in Dubai and Paris. These were her lifeblood. Elizabeth had once set up a luxury boutique for Sophia to manage, hoping it would ignite her sense of responsibility. Instead, Sophia abandoned it after a few months. Employees went unpaid, stock disappeared, and Sophia never apologized. She only shrugged and said, "Mom, business isn't for me. I deserve a better life." Chloe Anderson, 25 years old. If Sophia was extravagant, Chloe was outright reckless. She lived for Instagram likes and TikTok trends, constantly flaunting handbags, luxury cars, and champagne bottles that were often financed by her mother's money. She changed boyfriends as often as she changed her hair color, always chasing the next thrill. Elizabeth had once gifted her a Range Rover, but within months, Chloe had ruined the car because she couldn't keep up with maintenance. Her weekends were spent flying to Ibiza or Mykonos for parties, while weekdays were consumed by online shopping and endless selfies. Olivia Anderson, 21 years old. The youngest, Olivia, was nothing like her sisters. Quiet, thoughtful, and business-minded, she was Elizabeth's pride. From an early age, she showed a fascination with numbers and discipline in handling money. She studied accounting at university, but her real passion was entrepreneurship. Instead of asking her mother for expensive gifts, she requested a small amount of seed money to start a food packaging business. She sold healthy, organic snacks, dried fruits, granola, and nuts under her brand Nature's Delight. At first, her sisters mocked her, saying she was boring and too stingy. But Olivia paid no attention. She dreamed of creating a brand that would not only sustain her but also impact lives. Elizabeth often sat in her grand living room, sipping tea and gazing at her daughters with mixed emotions. She adored them all, but her heart ached at the recklessness of Sophia and Chloe. One Sunday evening, she summoned them for a family dinner. The dining table was set with fine china, golden cutlery, and roasted lamb, but the atmosphere was heavy. "My daughters," Elizabeth began, her voice steady but firm. "I built this empire with your father's sweat and my own determination. But I look at two of you, Sophia and Chloe, and I worry. Do you believe wealth is permanent? Do you think money sustains itself?" Sophia, flipping her hair, gave a dismissive smile. "Mom, you worry too much. We'll always be fine. We know how to take care of ourselves." Chloe chimed in, half distracted by her phone. "Exactly. Life is meant to be enjoyed, not stressed over. Olivia can do the boring business stuff. Sophia and I will live the life." Elizabeth's eyes narrowed. She turned to Olivia. "And you, my dear? What do you think?" Olivia lowered her gaze respectfully. "Mom, I understand what you're saying. I am ready to learn from you. I want to build something that will last. For the first time that night, Elizabeth's heart softened. Months later, disaster struck. One of Elizabeth's business rivals dragged her company into a vicious legal battle over property ownership. The case dragged on for nearly a year, draining her finances and shaking her confidence. Suddenly, money wasn't flowing as it once did. Creditors pressed for payments, and Elizabeth had to cut down on household luxuries. The mansion grew quieter, and the sparkle of endless wealth dimmed. Sophia and Chloe panicked. Their shopping trips halted. Their bank accounts shrank. Their so-called friends disappeared when the free dinners and parties stopped. They began pawning off designer clothes, selling cars, and borrowing from anyone who would listen. Meanwhile, Olivia stood tall. By then, her food packaging company had grown steadily. She had built a loyal customer base and even secured contracts with local supermarkets. When she noticed her mother's struggles, she didn't complain. She quietly began contributing her profits to keep the household afloat. One afternoon, Sophia and Chloe, looking broken and tired, appeared at Olivia's small office. "Sis," Sophia said, her voice trembling, "please help us. Things are so hard right now." Chloe, for once, didn't roll her eyes. She looked down in shame. "We don't know what to do anymore. We need you." Olivia looked at them with both compassion and firmness. "I will help you," she said, "but not with money. If you want to survive, if you want to have a future, then work with me. Learn something useful. That's the only way." At first, Sophia and Chloe resisted. They thought working in a small office and handling packaging boxes was beneath them, but desperation left them no choice. Sophia soon discovered her sense of style could be used positively. She began designing sleek and attractive packaging for Olivia's products. Chloe, with her social media presence, became the marketing face of the brand. Her posts began drawing customers in not for flashy handbags, but for the quality of the products. Slowly, the three sisters transformed Nature's Delight from a small startup into a household name across the UK. Their products entered bigger supermarkets, hotels, and even online platforms abroad. Elizabeth, once drained by the legal battles, watched with pride as her daughters matured. Sophia no longer cared only for parties. Chloe no longer lived for meaningless attention. They had discovered purpose, and Olivia had become the bridge that saved her family.